And hello, everyone. I have Resident Evil 6. Now, I'm going to give you a little preview review thing like beforehand. And what can I say about this game? It is underwhelming. In a word, it's underwhelming. The gameplay, the whole premise of Resident Evil is fine. It's good. The setup for this one, very good. You got several different characters, you get to interact. You got Leon, you have the guy who's Wesker's genetic offspring of some sort, and you have Chris and those side characters you can play as. I have not been a big Resident Evil fan, and I thought, you know what? I got my hands on this. I got my hands on a copy. I got to play with it, and I can show it to you. And I am disappointed. It's underwhelming. The gameplay is blah. I'm very surprised. I want my channel to be all happy, joy, all the positive things about games. But I feel that I have an obligation to tell you problems in video games, this is just my opinion. I know there'll be these people screaming at me, ranting at me, swearing at me that I'm stupid. I don't know the backstory, blah, 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 blah. You are right. I don't know the intricacies of the Resident Evil universe. I am going at it like a gamer, fresh in, wet behind the ears, college boy, boots in first, trying to experience this game. A lot of exposition. I have to say that it's supposed to be survival horror. You do run the ammo, you run out quickly. The aiming mechanics are horrendous, and I know it could be you're just playing it wrong. I played it for some time. I got it a little bit. I'm going to go back at it again and see if I can give you another opinion on it later on. But honestly, she doesn't play that good. The atmosphere is pretty good, but it's like a cheesy good. And I know that's kind of a problem with Resident Evil. It doesn't really have a really strong draw. It is very cheesy. The gameplay, the mechanics, I don't really think I ran across anything that was fun per se. It gave a good feeling once things started, the tension started adding up, but the exposition that they drop at you, this is the problem I feel with Japanese games, is the fact that they do not allow it's cutscene action. They don't let these things bleed into each other very well. And I feel this is the problem with the developers, that we have the ability to tell stories with great graphics on the fly and only use cutscenes every so often. I think we can, as a gamer and as designers and these guys who design games, need to look at this fact that, yes, I know this is a Western perspective on video games, but I feel that we can do very good storytelling without cramming dozens upon dozens of cutscenes at you and taking the power away from the gamer, which is actually what we as gamers have been getting so used to against all these other games, where the story, there's very little difference between the gameplay and the story exposition. And this is what I loved about all these other games, be it, I was going to say Call of Duty, but it isn't Call of Duty. Red Dead Redemption, they gave you cutscenes, but you learned a lot while you were playing in it. You got atmospheric things. Now, I'm not saying that this game is not atmospheric. I'm going to have to tweak with the lighting in this game. I don't know if I'll have this done yet or do it, but I'll have to tweak the lighting so you can get a little better lights. But atmospheric-wise, I'm going to say I give it a B. It's a solid atmospheric. It's enough to cause some tension, but the tension does easily bleed out of this game. I don't know how to explain it, but it bleeds out really, really, really quickly. The game is average at best, I would say. These people who are going to review this game are going to give it praise. They're going to just laud it for such great things. I am very skeptical about these people who just talk about it. I understand you give reviews to the best person, but this is just underwhelming. With the Leon, you're going to be beating the crap out of these people. I was trying to I played this game. This is the footage I took because I was just getting frustrated with it because I'm taking off headshots and they're not registering. Now, so you could say I'm not aiming right. Could be very well that the aiming mechanics are just completely not conducive to how I play. That my mind can't grasp it. You can say that very well can be. I mean, they're smart to have your inventory as a quick PDA flick up, and I like that because that's a smart way. They're bleeding the actions of the game play, so you don't have to be pulled out of it. And yes, they have a nice setup. Leon Kennedy's, I think, was at a banquet. I'm blanking out because honestly, the story, I was just Yawnsville at the game story. And truth be told, I really wanted to get into Resident Evil. I'm kind of going in between genres and such. I've been playing games for a very long time. Started off with Mario. Kind of got my hands in Pong. I'm not that old, but I got my hands in Pong first. And I enjoyed it, and I'm a gamer at heart. And I thought I wanted to branch off into horror, and I'm not talking the early Resident Evils because they play like crap. They may have terrified me when I was younger, but they played atrociously. I have never found a game that was as practically broken as that. And yes, at the time that was fine. But I was hoping to be drawn in to a new series, a new franchise, to me. Maybe not in the whole, but to me, a new franchise that I never got into. And I'm playing. Everything just feels wrong. And I don't know if this is just the fact of an outsider looking in on a game series that is not meant for me. And was pretty much never meant for me. That very well could be it, that it was never meant for me. And that I'm the wrong person for this, and I hope I am not, though. But the more and more I was playing the new Resident Evil, the graphics, yes, are updated. They have, as a whole, advanced, made themselves appear better, a new shinier gloss to it, as many people would say. But this look can't hide its major base mechanics. This kind of puzzle-esque, which there are a lot of people who like it. I don't mind it, but they need to really think about what they're doing. Their survival horror as a whole has always been the almost like popping out at you. And yes, you have a pause menu. This is an informal preview review. They have a pause menu that you can go through, and the world still interacts with. It still goes on, so you can't just pause it and go, "Oh crap, I'm in damage. Let's hit this button. I'm paused. Give me a split-second break." And honestly, I am very disappointed. The game, it has a lot of potential, and for someone like me, and I'm not saying this is for everyone, someone like me, you're going to be very disappointed. Very. It is a very good idea, a very great way to start trying to hook you. This outbreak, you're trying to rescue people with Leon, and you're trying to get the bomb things, you're trying to do the right thing, and it was like, great, and then listening to it, and then playing it, it's so great in one aspect. The story may be very good at times, but it's mired by the fact that they cannot let things run smoothly together. The constant jerking between cutscenes, and as you can see, the guy how they station the camera, it's just I don't know where their brains were. That they're trying to be too much like movies, and you know what? Games need to move away and embrace what they are, games. To be played, fun, enjoy. You can put your movie elements in there, but it's become overdone, especially with whoever's developing this. I mean, it is the action that they supposedly put in there, it seems doesn't function. And the best thing for Resident Evil is always the dark atmosphere and the spooky jumps. That as a whole is its forte. It's what it should be always. That this game, Resident Evil, should never be action. It doesn't function. It barely functions well with any shooting mechanic. And I think this is just the problem of it constantly modernizing, trying to face the big guys. And I'm used to shooters that when I shoot where I'm shooting at, it hits. And honestly, I played it, and there doesn't seem to be any true recognition on hit. And this is just me, and it could just be the fact that my mind just can't wrap bit around the game design, but I'm seriously saying that there seems to be problems up the wazoo. And yes, I know this is a preview, review, kind of mixture, hybrid thing, but this, I do feel, is only meant for serious Resident Evil fans. And even then, I would be questionable, but since I'm not a hardcore fan, I don't feel I have the right to say, no, this is not for fans of Resident Evil. It does have a lot of, but it's like, to me, it does have a lot of potential. It's, right now, even this stalking around the darkness, this trying to figure out things. This is what it should always be, this tension. And honestly, it's very hard to start tension out anywhere, but this is the best way they can start tension. It's not these boss battles. Well, they can do that way too, but it's not the boss battles that are building tension. It's the atmospheric. That this game, honestly, this is the only thing I have to say. It's very atmospheric, and yes, I know it just, to me, it came off as blah. It is, and this is just me. I'm not. This style of gameplay just seems a little outdated and out of place. And I may be looking for a new genre, a new thing to get into, but this has too many fingerprints on it, and not so much of an identity anymore. And how that they're breaking this game up into practically several sections, being the Leon, Chris, I'm blanking out on Wesker's offspring, and I believe the secret Ava mission. There's something else, but it's I, who've been playing it for some time, not finding that memorable, and I'm a new guy, that's a problem. And I know I'm keeping it even keel, but I do feel that I should be taking this as an adult, a serious thing, not screaming off the things that a lot of fans will be doing. And I can understand, and I feel your pain, because if they pull this shit, this is just wrong to do in a series. As a whole, there needs to be thoughts about it. And honestly, yes, there's quick motions to snap around, which is smart, but it seems to be not properly used. I know that this is a setting of the scene. I'm giving you this early stuff because I don't know how much I can get away with again. I forgot to say that I don't know how much I can get away with because I don't want to be banned. I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm just trying to push as much as I can to give my opinion of this that I feel that should be put out. And people who play games should not be ignored and forgotten that this game, whatever these people say, this is not looking so good. Atmospheric-wise, it may be very good, but as a whole, especially for what it's doing, it is lacking. And later on, I will give you some footage on a few other guys later on. And this is just my first part of a preview review. But I'm giving you the little bit of Leon Kennedy's kind of overview as a whole. As you heard before, lacking and whatnot. I really hope this was better. I will be stopping the video, and you'll be getting another part later on. I like to say, and it will be labeled pretty much in the same vein. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, and